So jump online and check it out now. thecouch.com.au.
Gotta love doing local people, local television. That's what we do here at The Couch. Talking local, we've got a fantastic guy that knows everything there is to know about travel. And he's back with us today. Steve Collins from Radio Roaming. Welcome back.
Hello, Fred. Thanks very much for having me.
Did you like a lovely local artist that we had on before?
Shameen?
Yeah,
she's gorgeous, isn't she? Yeah.
I bet now you're turned on?
Well,
no,
I like
mean in
her
a musical
music.
way.
Really like her
turn
music.
It up.
Yeah.
Oh, turn it
that
on.
one, turn it on.
That's
Yeah.
I'm glad you got the
Yeah, I use a Linda, of course.
I don't care what you use at home. You do whatever you like. Let's talk Croatia.
Yes, let's talk Croatia. Yeah.
Let's lift the bar.
Yes, let's talk Croatia. It's one of those sort of Central European countries, which is on the Adriatic Sea.
Do you know what?
Yep.
So much has been said about Croatia. We talk about Greece, Italy, Spain, all those.
Yeah.
Croatia's sort of like the little secret unknown place, isn't it?
Well, do you know that Croatia has been attracting tourists for about 2,000 years? Now, admittedly, some of those tourists used to go over and just plunder the country, but it's been a tourist resort since the Roman times. Diocletian, he was one of the Roman emperors. He built his palace there in Split, and so people have been going there, and of course it was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the royals used to go there as well for their holidays.
What's it well known for? Like, if I was to travel there, what would be the reasons to go over to Croatia?
Probably to go to Croatia, of course. It's got a gorgeous coastline. It's got several parts of the coastline. It's got probably one of the best Mediterranean cities in that area, and that, of course, is Dubrovnik.
I'm looking at some of the footage now. That's
the coast. That's some of the beaches there. You'll notice that it's not quite sandy.
It's all stone, isn't it?
Oh, stone. On some of the islands, of course, it is sandy.
It looks beautiful,
but it is. Well, it is beautiful. They drive on the wrong side of the road as well, unfortunately. But you've got mountains there. Now, it's interesting when you talk about mountains. They've got an island there called Var, which is spelled HVAR, and I don't know how they get the pronunciation for, but it is supposed to be one of the sunniest spots in the Mediterranean, and it is so sunny that if you go there and you have, say, more than 4 hours of rain, they give you a discount on your hotel, and if it snows, there's no charge. So the best time to go there is when it's snowing, so you don't have to pay.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, give us those details. So, are there any destinations in Croatia that you could recommend for us where we should go?
There are heaps. Look, well, first of all, let's start with Dubrovnik.
Okay.
Dubrovnik is a fantastic city. It's a medieval city. It's a walled city. There we go. That's Dubrovnik now. You can literally walk right around the city on the wall.
Small, is it?
That's the market that they have. That's near the Franciscan monastery there, and it's a great little market that they have there. You get all sorts of things. It's a very small place. You can walk. It's got this wall and it's got these gates around it, and you can walk really in between it very, very, very easily. If you want to go and get a sort of a panoramic view of it, there's a cable car that goes up to the local mountain.
Oh, I have seen it.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's only about a 3-minute trip, so it doesn't take long. But you go up there, and there's a restaurant up there. And look at it. Look at that.
Yeah,
that is
beautiful.
just gorgeous, isn't it? It is just a fantastic place. A lot of cruise ships go into Dubrovnik, so a lot of people see that as sort of a one-day tour.
Place.
It's a very, very big tourist place. Yeah, it's just wonderful. That's just one of the features, of course.
What else have we got? Because we've got Split as well, haven't we?
Split is the second largest city in Croatia. It's there we go. There's Split. Look at some of the boats.
Is there a lot of touristy things to do when you're in this country?
It's basically, where we're talking about on the coast, yes, it is all touristic. Don't forget, Australians know a little bit about it, but really it is a very, very big destination for other Europeans. At some of the places, Split, for instance, is one of the big hubs there. You've got sea, rail, air, and all sorts of ways of getting
underground
there.
Markets?
That's the underground market. That's underneath the
does look beautiful, doesn't
Palace. It is. It's just fantastic. And see, there's no cars here. You walk through these streets. I don't know how we got an Aboriginal didgeridoo player in Split, but he was there on a cruise, obviously.
Now, the coast is obviously very important to people going to Split.
The coast and the islands. There's over 1,000 islands.
Now, you know, like Greece has got Santorini Island.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realise that Croatia have got very similar type destinations.
They have. Croatia's got, as I say, it's got about 1,000 islands and in different island groups. There are 4 main islands. One of them, which I said was 4 before. That was where you get the discount if it snows. But there's a couple of there's Brač, which is very close to Split. It's just a short ferry ride, so that's probably the most popular of the islands there. But there are others. There's a little place called Viz, which
How do you say that again?
Viz,
Viz.
Viz.
Look at these creative names. Viz, Split.
Yeah. Oh, I'm struggling with some of the Croatian language, I can tell you.
I know a couple of words Croatian.
Fortuna is another very popular one.
No, that wasn't the word I was thinking.
Fortuna has got some lovely scenery there, and it's got the little town of Fortuna is called Little Dubrovnik because it's very, very Mediterranean, very medieval.
I believe there's some more vision of the coast, and also is it Istria?
Istria.
Are we having a look at that?
Istria is the northern part of the coastline.
There we go.
And you know what? There's a lot of Italian influence there because right up until the beginning of the 20th century, it was part of Italy. And this is the thing about Croatia. It's been part, it was part of Yugoslavia. It was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And so Istria is very popular. There's a lot of people go there because it's easy to get to by train or by plane.
Actually. I like Istria.
Yeah, this is the lake system we just saw. The Plitvice lakes. They're very hard to say, but they're a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There's 16 of these lakes, and they are joined. They're at different levels. They're different colours. You've got turquoise, you've got mint green, you've got grey, you've got blue, and they're connected by all these wonderful cascades and waterfalls. The highest waterfall there is 78. Wow. It's got a drop of 78 metres, which is incredible, amazing place.
The question that bears to be asked is it expensive, and how do we get there from Australia or WA?
Right, well, firstly, depends where you go to. There are, particularly up in Istria, that is the most expensive part of the Croatian coast. It's also called the Dalmatian coast. So if you go out to some of the islands, they're a bit cheaper. There are other places, like Pula, which is near Split, which are a bit cheaper because they get a lot of the budget airlines go there. So it depends what you want to do, where you go to, how long you want to stay there, and what season you go.
And have they changed the euro now, or are they still the krona? Do you know if the currency is still the same?
I think
it's still kurna.
Yeah,
kurna,
which is always very good.
And you're getting quite. How much do we get? Because one of our 6 or 7 kurna for the dollar.
Well, that's all right.
How much does a can of Coke cost? How many kurna?
Depends.
4 kurna?
That's only just over $1.
That's not bad.
Now, to get there, you'll have to go in a couple of hops.
Okay.
Because you can't fly direct there. You've got any of the major airlines that fly to Europe. You go to their main hub, and from there you'll have to fly to somewhere else to transfer to get a flight to one of these places.
A lot of it's by road as well, isn't it?
A lot of it's by road. But the other thing, most Australians tend to go there on cruise ships these days. One of the best ways to get there is if you go to Italy,
cruise
catch
across.
a ferry across the Adriatic.
When are we doing it?
Well, let's go now.
Is it a place you'd love to go to?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go, you heard it.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic because it is the true Mediterranean. The weather there, we're talking about the coast, is really good.
Fantastic.
Really, that's why they say if it snows, we'll give you a free room. But it is, compared to a lot of the other Mediterranean ports or places, reasonably cheap. And as I say, it's just one of those places. There's so much to do there, and a lot of history, good beaches, good rocks on some of the beaches as well.
Fantastic.
But the interior of the country is also very interesting.
Well done. Thank you very much, Steve Collins. You'll be sticking around. You're going to be on Bitchin after the break as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Steve Collins from Radio Roaming. If you want more information, it's on screen right now, radioroaming.com.
I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I hope he stays true to his form. We'll be back with Bitchin right after this break, and Steve Collins sticking around to talk more than Croatia.